Where's Xavi Rose gone?
Whoa. He's in starting
Xavi
the pit
Rose
lane.
is starting from the pits, and he qualified in second position. What on earth has happened there? And why is he, if that's a decision, I don't know why he would have made that, but here we go with just Alessandro Maggio on the front of the grid. And when the lights go out, now we are underway in Canada, and the easiest run to turn one of all time is that of Alessandro Maggio. Grankvist now takes second, Wok is third, and then Frelick in fourth position. Hopefully everyone squeezes through those first couple of corners safely. The other drivers who did not start from the track were, I think, Yartayan and Moritz Kropp. Drivers get close to that wall on the outside, and then these corners are very tricky when wet, because there's only one line through here at the best of times, and they're so close. Look at Stefan Roth there, Maciej Winnick actually fighting alongside Sergio Fletcher. Roth has already got past his race winner teammate and is now up the inside of the Valley Esports car. Fletcher holds him off, and Ruben Machete is now up into 5th position. Good start from him as he swaps places with Robin Panzer. Here's Isfang Singal in the Stax racing car coming up towards the chicane. Something's already going a little bit awry as he's side by side. Oh, and there's contact there with Tygo Poom potentially. Oh my goodness, and upside down at the back there.
That's Xavi Ross.
Terrible, terrible start to the race. And it is Xavi Ross who ends up on his lid after such an incredible qualifying. And this raises the question, Ed, of why did he start from the pit lane?
It can't have been intentional. He must have got disconnected or something, then rapidly got back in just before the start. Because he was taking loads of risks there. That read to me as someone who was really frustrated and angry.
Shimon Frelick is able to get through, and that's our first change of podium places. And here comes Jan Grankvist down the straight, opens the rear wing, and he's going to go through with the help of the overspeed and the drag reduction system. Grankvist does take the lead now.
Oh, somebody's in the wall. Alex Laho.
It's Laho. Oh, no. Has cut across the chicane, and it's as he rejoins where the tyres should be finding grip. They lose grip, and he spins around and goes into the wall. I think that was just the change of surface that he was going across, unsettling the car and causing him to spin the car around. Unfortunate stuff from Alex Laho, but you have to be so careful when rejoining an active racetrack.
Oh, is this a move from Murno picking off Vac? So Machete's gotten past Vac into 4th, and now Murno has followed suit. But look at this, Frelick all over the back of Maggio, and he gratefully snatches that 2nd position. And Maggio, I think, was heading into the pit lane. But look at this, Machete on the move up to P2 past Simon Frelick, very early down the straight as well.
There's Ruben Machete, a relatively straightforward move on the straight.
Now Grankvist in.
But Grankvist had a 3-second advantage before coming into the pits. That's Luke Mitchell. Okay, so we're looking in 11th position. Grankvist has 1 car between himself and Maggio.
But you do still need to nail those exits, as we see Maggio about to dive up the inside of Martin into the hairpin. Just enough space for the Italian to squeeze through there. Martin wants none of that, the winner of last year's race here, knowing that there's still a long way to go. Machete and Frelick in.
Okay, Ruben Machete and Shimon Frelick both into the pits. And that leaves Lucas Murno to lead his first lap of GPVWC Super League in his career. Whoa! And around, Mitchell goes for a full 360, drops behind his teammate now. We're going to see how that happened now. Luke Mitchell is the THR with the yellow front. Here we go, out of the corner, and I don't think he touches anything. I don't think he gets hit. He just goes for a full 360-degree spin and then rejoins, gathers it up. It was a good recovery, actually, from Luke Mitchell, but it could... Oh dear, around he goes. Yeah, I don't think he got hit. I think that's just a typical spin.
Milnek and Vac come in. So Soltero, Schubert, Grankvist is now the top 3. As we see Machete right in the thick of the battle with... is that Simon Frelick? No, it's Carlos. Frelick's a bit further back. Oh, fighting away with Fletcher.
And now watch as Sergio Fletcher, nearly passes Carlos Martin, who comes into the pits, along with Chris Shepherd.
Yeah, that was almost the second worst thing that happened to the THRs going to that chicane today. As we see Murno now getting a beautiful slipstream, sees Fletcher and Frelick still drilling away. Frelick tries to nudge his way up the inside into turn 2, and he is still there as there's yellow flags in the middle sector that clear now, so the battle will resume. And Fletcher, was not backing out of that one in a hurry, and he sort of backed Fletcher on the hards into Murno, or Frelick, sorry, and he's created that small gap into turn 6. Murno has to be careful here. Soltero probably being careful in the lead as well, but Yeah, it's Murno now trying to get back alongside with the DRS into turn 6. Can the Green Stripes driver make this move cleanly? Frelick knows he's almost certainly going to have to bail out this one, and he does. That was quite sensible there.
Avoiding it, and that's the most important thing.
Big crash in the background.
Was that Thomas Bock? Mark Schluter is caught up in it as well.
So Vac is behind Schluter, going into that final chicane. He gets up the inside. Oh, neat and tidy so far. Gets over the cup, gets tapped at the rear. So it was a misjudgment, really, from behind there, it must be said.
Here's the word unlucky for Schluter there, but unfortunately, there was nothing unlucky about that. That was a misjudgment from Schluter going into the back of Thomas Bock, spinning him around.
It's the only thing I would say.
And there is Yaltayan being passed by Ruhl and Panzer. Shimon Frelick now going for it and goes through on Sergio Fletcher. Carlos Martin there up into 14th position now, passing Loic Mounier. And this is Matej Winnick getting past Robin Panzer on the straight in a relatively straightforward move with DRS and everything.
Yep, there we go.
And Sven Schubert has dropped out of the points. He's avoided the bit where I thought he was going to have an incident.
Oh!
Whoa, that's a weird one. Drops it partway through a flat-out corner. That corner is not normally an issue. I'm going to watch his gears, actually. It almost looked like maybe he changed down a gear where he meant to change up or something.
Goes into was a gear shift into 7th.
The car just gives way. Now, what happened there?
But Maggio, is he heading for the pits? Yes, he is. And Machete follows suit. So this is all about putting the pressure on Granqvist.
And there's yellow flags and there's a rear wing. And who is that? Off the road. And it's Murno. Oh, no! Lucas Murno is out of the race. So into the chicane he goes. The second part of it. He's going to loop it on the exit and bang into the barriers. Out of the race he goes. What a tragedy, Ed. Meanwhile, here's Ruben Machete getting past Carlos Martin and getting back with, well, not back with Maggio because he's got Chris Shepherd to get past yet. On the straight, Maggio is actually getting away a little bit, and Maggio may be about to pass Tomasz Vok. There we go. See, Maggio is so quick on fresh tyres. He just needs to learn how to keep them a bit more.
Now we see Ruben about to line up Thomas Vac down the back straight here.
Yeah, and this shows how much Tomasz Vok's race has gone a little bit downhill. Ruben Machete going through as the HRT swap places. Winnick is now second ahead of Stefan Ruhl. Here is Sergio Fletcher on the back of Carlos Martin. It could have been both of them, you know. He's going to go for a move into turn 1 and loses it and takes him out. Okay, it was both of those drivers. Into the pits he comes. This is, I presume, his last pit stop of the day.
So yeah, Panzer could well be a bit of a roadblock that Maggio's got to clear quickly, and Panzer definitely trying to help out his teammate Machete here.
Well, Ruhl's in the pits. Anyway, here comes Alessandro Maggio, lining up Oscar Soltero. I said this was an important move, and he gets it done first time of asking. Now Machete has the onus on him to get past Soltero as quickly as he can, and he gets onto the grass. That's not how you do it. And that's going to cost him some time. And Winnick is into the pits now, so Maggio leads from Soltero and Machete. And now here comes Machete again up the inside of Soltero. This time he gets it done, and he does get it woed up in time for the corner. I'm still expecting Fletcher to pit, I think. Here's Ruhl going past Sergio Fletcher on the straight and gets that done. He's up into 5th position. Shimon Frelick will open the rear wing and try to get past Sergio Fletcher this time. And he'll bring Matej Winnick a bit closer as well because he also has the DRS courtesy of Shimon Frelick. And Fletcher comes into the pits.
So Ruben is going for the undercut so that he comes out ahead of Maggio. Surely Alessandro Maggio is going to respond to this next lap around. And he comes.
Maggio does come in now, so Granqvist will go back to the lead of the race. Where does Maggio come out of the pits in relation to Ruben Machete? It's going to be close, of course. Machete still has to do the first couple of corners. He might be ahead of him, actually, or they might be side by side. Yes, and he does get ahead of Machete, but just about.
If these two fight each other, Maggio and Machete are going to breeze past. There we go, finally. They decide to give Milnek the lead again in this battle. As Machete closes in as he's stuck behind. This is critical.
Yeah, but here we go. DRS wide open. If he has any push to pass left, he'll be using it. And he goes through on the straight and takes 4th position. But I think he's going to be a sitting duck to Machete as soon as he opens that rear wing flap, which he does, and goes towards the chicane. And he pulls to the right-hand side. He's not fully alongside, but he does go through in the braking zone.
That is personal best lap of the race with the DRS from Milnek, and Soltero thinks better at that one, I think, and decides to go for a better opportunity on the exit there. Simon is running out of hard tyres here, and Soltero knows it. Sweeps around the outside. Job done. That's P6 for the Epic Racing driver. As we see, this is what happens. So he's making a move right. Kilk then sneaks up on him after he passes Xavi Ross. Bit of a moment into the chicane. Oh, and he gets stabbed from behind. Xavi Ross just got caught out by how much Moynier was held up by the Red Archer, just appearing out of nowhere there. So this time, Maggio gets a good run. Lalu well out the way. The valet, has a little think about to move up the inside. Very late on the brakes, and Royal cuts the chicane. That's Maggio through to third.
But we continue to watch River Machete. Whoa! And that's Royal! Royal locking up and going wide. Did he dip wheels in the grass, maybe?
Because this is what happened. We have Tyne and Fletcher all just coming together. And Fletcher coming off by far the worst on that one.
Jan Grangfist has once again been imperious. The championship leader, the reigning champion, will maintain his #1 for the time being at least. Jan Gran crosses the line and wins the Canadian Grand Prix, his first win since the start of the season. Maciej Winnick is second. Alessandro Maggio can just about smell that second place, but can't quite cross the line in time. Oh my goodness, close finish there between Frelick and Solteris. Machete who finishes
and it's Simon that did it. Simon got to 6th by 0.003 of a second there.
So Solteris is ahead. Frelick lines him up. It's a drag race to the line, and he's going to just about snag it as they cross the finish line. 0.003, did you say, of a second? You cannot get much closer than that. That is a width of paper. And we're seeing it now from on board with Shimon Frelick. Here he goes. And Oscar will be thinking, whoa, why did I not just have one more second of push to pass? I'd have got that. So that means that Grangfist wins, followed by Winnick. Alessandro Maggio scores his first podium today. We shouldn't forget that. Yes, he dropped back a little bit, but he still finishes on the podium for the very first time in GPVWC Super League. Then it's Ruben Machete P4. I think that's a personal best for him as well. Stefan Roth is P5. Oh, there's contact on the way into the pits. Then it's Shimon Frelick. Oscar Soltero, 7th on debut. Great performance from him, one of the drivers of the day. Then it's Robin Pansar, Jarl Tyne, and Tomasz Vok, who is P10 after getting up to 3rd on that first lap. Then we move on to the second tile, so we can see Moritz Kropp, then Sergio Fletcher. Great drive from Kropp, actually, from the very back of the grid due to that penalty. Fletcher P12, then Pascal Pollant, Chris Shepherd, Riot Kilk, who scores the last point.